So overlay is a great feature that's extremely powerful, and a lot of people don't even know about it. Tell me a little bit about overlay.
Overlay is cool because it lets you make relative changes for faders and sends. Going through a rehearsal and somebody asks you to turn something up and you store it in that scene, well, what is that how you want it for the rest of the day, or you just want it, you know, for that scene, that kind of thing. So overlay, we've got a button here on the surface, but I'll show you a couple ways to get into it. So it's part of scenes. So if we come into scenes and come over to the third tab, here's all the channels in the desk, and here would be all the sends if I opened that up. So, but we'll just work on faders and not sends at the moment. So if I want to make an adjustment, let's say to channel 12, I could come in, and first thing I'd have to do is turn overlay on. And once it's on, then I could just dial it up and push and turn for fine tune. And at the same time, the fader was coming up, and it tells me that I'm up a certain level here. So we can see our value here, and so that's fine. But if we had let's say we had and so what's going to happen? I added 4.4 dB here. So now as I recall a scene, it's going to add 4.4 to however that scene that channel had been recorded, right, or stored. That's a great way to get through and make relative changes for your faders and your send levels. But let's say it was a drummer at a church that every third week had a sub, and that sub comes in and plays the same kit but has a lighter touch. Well, if he's got 8, 10, 12 channels of drums, that's going to be a slow process. So what if, I'll show you a faster way. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to clear it, and I'm going to close this. Shift overlay turns overlay on. And if I press and hold overlay, I'm in edit mode. So there's the values are flashing on the screen, and now I could come in and I could start to make changes. And as I make changes to the fader levels, or if I were in send, same difference, the on button comes on to tell me, hey, you've done that. If I didn't want it, it would go back. It's very similar to the way we do the graphics,
yeah,
right? The third octaves on faders. So now I can do, if we went and looked at that, we could see what I did plus or minus on those channels. So now as I recall, it's going to add or take away that value to however that scene had been recorded. So as part of the scene. So that's a great way to utilize that, and can just save your tail when you're going through lots of different scenes.
What if you want to commit this and this to become your new norm?
Yeah, you want this to become your normal. So now if I were to hit, this scene might be locked, let me see. So if I want to, I hit store here, it's going to create a new scene, and I have this store with overlay applied. So then we get the mother of all pop-ups, and this pop-up is basically telling us that if you do this, that's fine, it'll become permanent part of the scene, those values, but you better go turn overlay off for those channels, or you're going to double down on your values, and it would be mightily impressive and probably not in a good way. So yeah, so that's how that works. So it's a very, very helpful way to make relative changes for faders and sends.
That's great.